He's promising the biggest change for 40 years. So he's only kept 7 of the 27 members of Keir Starmer's cabinet. Who are they? What links them? What might they be like? Well, the big surprise was this man, John Healey, who's going to be Chancellor, seen as a safe pair of hands, safer than the other options. But the issue is that when he was Defence Secretary, more than a year into his time in office, there was a big black hole in the MOD's finances. Can he be trusted to manage the finances of every single government department? That's his challenge. Then there's Shabana Mahmood. She stays in the same job. The challenge for her, a lot of Labour MPs want to get rid of her immigration reforms. They thought she might be out the door, but now she's staying. That will be a big fight. And this man, it's a Miliband in the Foreign Office, but perhaps not the one that we thought. Ed Miliband. Now, he's pro-EU, pro-multilateralism, but tough for the special relationship. He's on record causing trouble on subjects that Donald Trump doesn't like, climate change and stopping the US from using bases in Diego Garcia. Could that be a wrinkle in the special relationship? Now, this person, Louise Haigh, maybe not a household name, but the most powerful female in the cabinet. She's First Secretary of State in the engine room of this government. She's the only woman at the very top table. But what does link these 4 most powerful figures at the top? Well, each one of these 4 did more than anybody else to get rid of Keir Starmer. They are linked by the fact that they were the ones that wielded the knife against the former Prime Minister. Could that be a problem? We'll see in time. So what happened to reformers, those on the right of the party, Blairites as we once called them? Well, Wes Streeting, he's ended up as Defence Secretary. I'm told that he once went to the Falkland Islands on a visit and was part of the Parliamentary Armed Forces Commission. So that's some of his background in that area.
Andy Burnham has just performed a sweeping overhaul of the top tier of government, clearing out 20 former cabinet members in a single stroke. Welcome back to Britain Underneath, where we peel back the polished veneer of Westminster to reveal the true mechanics of British power. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss our deep dives into the hidden corridors of political strategy. Let us examine what this major shift actually signals for the country.
And this is Pat McFadden. He's another Blairite. He wants to reform welfare. Andy Burnham says he does too, but in the past has been quite nervous about going too far, taking entitlements away from people. So could that end up with him in a clash with his new boss? We'll see. But the thing is, quite a lot of the people who were rewarded in the reshuffle are actually allies, geographical and friends of Andy Burnham. So look at this. Lucy Powell, Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, she's ended up being Education Secretary. Then the person who drew up policy during the transition while he was an MP in the early days, that's Miatta Fahnbulleh, she's ended up as Energy Secretary. And the third one, a long-time friend, familiar face, former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, often sharing a karaoke mic with Andy Burnham, and she has ended up as being Housing Secretary. And there's a bit of a theme there, friendship and geographical relationships. Actually, you can see MPs out of London in the Labour Party dominate this cabinet. Here you've got Manchester and Birmingham, and you've got some MPs for others. Very few from the south. And the thing is, the Labour Party, its votes in the election, has become a bit of a party of the south, but that's not where its cabinet representation is. Could that be an issue? Because there are just so many friends of Andy Burnham that have ended up in cabinet like this one. Lisa Nandy survived in the culture role, an expanded brief, but she is back in the same job. Now, look at this. You've got Annalise Midgley, another northern female MP. She helped get Andy Burnham into that Makerfield seat. She is important as Chief Whip. But that leaves you with some anomalies. So just look at this one. This is Yvette Cooper. She was, until the start of this week, the Foreign Secretary. It's a demotion, but it's a demotion to a very important job for Labour, which is the Health Secretary. So will she be able to get across the detail in order to sort out that brief? We will see. Andy Burnham's cabinet is the key to his success. He says he's got 10 years of plans in order to fix Britain. But will these people prove to be the right people to advance his agenda?
When a Prime Minister retains only 7 faces from a previous cabinet, it is not merely a routine administrative update. It is a calculated removal of an entire faction. Keir Starmer's inner circle has been dismantled, and in its place stands a carefully chosen coalition of loyal allies, regional political figures, and strategic operatives. At the centre of this new apparatus sits John Healey as Chancellor of the Exchequer. Healey is framed as a steadying presence, yet he enters the Treasury carrying the legacy of a significant financial deficit from his previous tenure at the Ministry of Defence. Entrusting the national finances to an individual who managed an overextended defence portfolio raises immediate questions about fiscal discipline.
The morning after a reshuffle that stretched late into the night, the same Labour government, but now a new-look cabinet, as Andy Burnham's allies took the top jobs. Lucy Powell, are you happy to be Education Secretary? Yeah, and can you keep the party united? Shabana Mahmood, are you disappointed not to be Chancellor? Happy with your job? Ed Miliband, are you happy to be Foreign Secretary, sir? You not sad about the Chancellorship, sir? As Andy Burnham's allies took top jobs in a ruthless purge of those loyal to the last leader. Wes Streeting, can the party unite in this cabinet? Isn't it a vicious cull of Starmer allies, sir? Angela Rayner, can the party stay united under Andy Burnham? Is it a nest of singing birds, sir? Johnny Reynolds, can the party remain united, sir? Some of the old guard who called for Starmer to go themselves stayed, joined in the Downing Street Gardens by the Burnham backers who got their man here. Burnham convening his very first cabinet.
Can I just say, I expect this every meeting.
At the height of his power and with a very clear message.
We need to be a cost of living government. Life's hard out there, isn't it, at the moment?
Burnham using his first full day in office to make a down payment on his pledge to give people a bit more breathing space, with a cut to VAT on energy bills from October the 1st, saving you £45 a year and costing the government £850 million.
We've made a start today. We made the announcement about removing VAT from household electricity bills. It's not everything, but it shows our determination to do something about people's living standards. And it kind of points the way for further measures that we hope to take that pressure off people. But also it comes with reprioritisation. And you'll have seen what I've said about digital ID.
Burnham dropping plans for new ID cards to pay for cuts to energy bills, whilst seeking to reassure the markets his more left-wing government will maintain fiscal discipline.
We've got to show that our commitment to the fiscal rules is real, and we're prepared to make difficult decisions in relation to that.
But for all...
Take a breath, reflect on these shifts, and stay informed on how these decisions directly shape our daily lives. If you value this level of clear, unvarnished insight into national politics, please subscribe to Britain Underneath. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you thorough analysis. Looking further across the departments, traditional figures from the party's moderate wing have been repositioned rather than entirely excluded. Wes Streeting moves to defence, taking on a heavy portfolio during a period of complex global security challenges. Pat McFadden remains focused on welfare reform, an area where his approach may run into friction with a leadership that has historically taken a more cautious stance on altering public support structures. Meanwhile, Yvette Cooper moves from foreign affairs to health, inheriting an immense operational mandate in an NHS under continuous pressure. What stands out most is the geographic shift in power. Prominent positions have been handed to figures like Lucy Powell in education, Miata Fambule in energy, and Angela Rayner in housing. The centre of gravity has noticeably shifted away from London toward northern metropolitan hubs like Manchester and Birmingham. While this reflects a deliberate attempt to decentralise political authority, it also creates an interesting paradox. A government led largely by northern figures, presiding over an electorate that relies heavily on southern constituencies for its parliamentary majority.
Andy Burnham claims to have a 10-year strategy to fundamentally reshape the nation's political and economic framework. However, a cabinet built on personal networks and regional ties faces an uphill battle against deep structural economic demands, public service backlogs, and international volatility. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. The dynamics of British power are shifting rapidly, and understanding these moves is essential for staying ahead of what comes next. Subscribe to Britain Underneath today, hit the notification bell, and join us for our next analysis as we continue to uncover what really happens behind closed doors in Westminster.